So 2 more matches here today on day 2 of the main draw. The next match on court is, as you can see, mixed doubles. The Indonesian combination of Ahmad and Natsir up against the Germans, Fuchs and Michels.
It's the Yonex All England Open Badminton Championships in the mixed doubles. Let's give a big Birmingham welcome to the number 7 seeds from Indonesia, Tantowi Ahmad and Liliyana Natsir.
Tantowi Ahmad and Liliyana Natsir of Indonesia. Liliyana Natsir, of course, vastly experienced, twice a world champion, twice a beaten finalist here at the All England. But of course, that was all with a previous partner, Nova Widianto. In fact, beaten finalist last year. What an occasion and what an opportunity, though, for Tantowi Ahmad.
And their opponents from Germany, Michael Fuchs and Birgit Michels.
So the Germans, Michael Fuchs and Birgit Michels. Many people will, of course, recognise her under her maiden name. She was Overseer, quite recently married. Jane Hancock is the umpire in the second round match. Klaus Schlieben in Austria is the service judge. So the number 7 seeds from Indonesia, Liliyana Natsir on the left as we look at them. Tantowi Ahmad on the right. Seeding of 7, world ranking up 1 place to 24 in the world. Their win-loss record for this year translates to quarter-final at the Korean Open. Lost first round of the Malaysian Super Series events. And a tough opening match for them against the Malaysians, Chen Peng-soon and Goh Liu Ying. Coming through 21-19 in the deciding game, but remarkably, those 3 games only lasting 36 minutes in total. A lot of very short rallies in that match. I watched that yesterday. So, Michael Fuchs, the 28-year-old, he's going to turn 29 next month. His partner, 26 years of age. World ranking of 13. Having played 11 tournaments. And a negative win-loss record for them this year. Lost in the first round of both the Malaysian and Korean Super Series events. And then, of course, played the European Team Championships in Holland a couple of weeks ago. Michael Fuchs, a graduate in sports science, but he's studying now to become a teacher, studying both physical education and English. And they had a much more comfortable opening match against Kolding and Helman of Denmark. 3 titles for the Germans last year. The US Open, Belgium and Norwegian. But I guess the big results for the Germans was reaching the final of the French Super Series event. Lost out to Sukhit Prakamal and Sarali Thongtongkam of Thailand in that final in Paris. Jane Hancock and Klaus Schlieben. And Ian, I just wondered whether that result in Paris for Fuchs and Michels, whether that was really a breakthrough event to one of the major tournaments. You know, they come through, they reach the final. There's a new sort of belief, I think, about them that they can do well now.
I think Michael Fuchs is one of the most improved players in Europe. I mean, he's a player that was around a long time playing on the European circuit and, you know, known as a very hard-working player, but didn't really have the big results. But then everything fell into place for him that week in Paris. And, OK, they took advantage a little bit. A lot of the Asians weren't there. They were preparing for Asian Games. But they don't take anything away from them. They played extremely well and took that chance. And since then, he's been a different player, really. Plays with a lot more confidence. There's a lot more variety in his game. And very much improved.
Very nice gentleman too. I spent a lot of time talking to him prior to the final in Paris. And shared a car with him to the Gare du Nord. He's a future English teacher. Exceptional English.
I remember him very well as a junior, and he was always keen then to practice his English. He's one of the more sociable players on tour. He likes to chat to the different countries. He's a very outgoing character and very popular on the tour.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Tantowi Ahmad, Liliyana Natsir, Indonesia. On my left, Michael Fuchs, Birgit Michels, Germany. Liliyana Natsir to serve to Birgit Michels. Love all, play.
So the Indonesians, the far side of the court. Liliyana Natsir, the 25-year-old, playing first All England Championship with her new partner, Tantowi Ahmad.
Service over, 1-all.
Now, of course, Ian
Service over,
probably needs a little bit of an explanation, the fact that the Indonesians are the number 7 seeds, only 24 in the world rankings, whereas Fuchs and Michels, 13 in the world, and not seeded.
Yes, the Indonesian pair have got what's called a notional ranking. The optimum number of tournaments for the world ranking is 10, and they haven't played that number of tournaments yet, so for seeding purposes, their points are divided by the number of tournaments that they have played, and they get this notional ranking.
Yeah, which is 6 tournaments they've played so far.
Service
Yes,
over.
I have to say, when the Indonesians first formed their partnership last year, there'd been a lot of talk of who Liliyana Natsir was going to start her Olympic campaign with, because Nova Widianto at the age of 33 was considered too old to be really at his prime for London in 2012, and they tried her out with several different partners. But last year, the first 3 tournaments that she played with Ahmad, they reached 3 finals, winning 2 of them, Macau and Indonesia Grand Prix, beaten finalists in Taipei. Well, when you start a partnership like that, it's no wonder that Ahmad was chosen to be the regular partner. he really has come from nowhere. I don't really remember him as such on the tour. Suddenly you get the opportunity to play with a player that's twice been a world champion.
6-3.
And he's just blossomed.
Yes, I saw him in one or two of the Asian Challenger events, the next level down, and yeah, he wasn't even winning those really, and they really have plucked him out of nowhere. But what I would also say about this pair is this win-loss record for this year, I would say, is a little bit false. This is the first time they've had a seeding position, and they've lost some very, very tight matches to really top pairs, and I wouldn't read too much into that win-loss for this year, because this is a very dangerous pair already.
Yes, indeed. In fact, in the quarter-final of the Korean, they lost out to Zhang Dan and Zhao Yunlei, who are the defending All England champions, #1 seeds this week in Birmingham. And in Malaysia, they lost their opening match. That was against Zhu Chen and Yu Yang.
Service over.
Yu Yang, of course, the reigning Olympic champion in women's doubles. So you're absolutely right. The pairs that they've lost to have been outstanding pairs.
And from memory, in that quarter-final, they had several match points to win it as well.
Fault. Service over. 6-7. Service over.
One of the interesting things, I think, Ian, between these two pairs is the Indonesians almost play a level doubles style. In other words, that Tantowi Ahmad will very willingly go forward to the net, knowing that his partner's so strong at the back of the court. Whereas I think the Germans play more of the traditional style of mixed doubles, and it is Michael Fuchs who will basically stay at the back of the court, use his power, and allowing his partner to use her agility at the front of the court and speed of reaction.
I think that will be one of the factors when they were looking for a new partner for Natsir. They will have been looking for someone who has that ability to read the game going forward, because she's got the habit of playing with Nova, who did take a lot of chances to come forward, and she's developed a game where she is very comfortable to rotate out to the rear court and help her partner. So that's probably one of the deciding factors in this selection of the new partner for her.
Oh, that's a great net shot from Ahmad.
9-all.
Yeah, good demonstration. He's comfortable there. He's also comfortable to play the soft net, knowing how strong Liliyana is in the rear court.
There's Liliyana Natsir, silver medalist at the Beijing Olympics. 3 World Championship finals.
10-9.
And won 2 of them.
(11-9) interval.
So 3 straight points by the Indonesians to take them to the mid-game interval with the advantage. And really, so far, Ian, it's been a bit of a bitty game, if you know what I mean. Very short rallies. We haven't been in progress terribly long, 5 minutes, in fact.
Yeah, slightly nervy start, that's sure. It's a difficult game tactically for the Germans, because the German strength really is Birgit's ability to read the game in the front court. But she's playing against one of the best mixed players in the world in this match, so she's not really settled into a normal game. She's made 1 or 2 errors, which I think's slightly understandable in this situation.
Van Dijk, German coach, an interesting name. Ingo Kinthata, one of the players, sitting with him in the coaching chairs.
11-9. Play.
Great defence.
better from the German pair. Birgit there, confident to step out and
11.
take the interception on the straight there, and that gives her partner a bit more time. See here, she steps out there, a little bit more aggressive. Sure, the coaches were talking to her there in the break, just telling her to go for a normal game, look for the shuttle a little bit more, don't be passive and stay in the middle of the court, step out, look for the straight. She's done it again, she's missed it, but it's a bit more positive. She was moving and looking for that shot.
10.
Reads it well, but unfortunately the execution wasn't good.
Tall lady, 178.
Trademark quick reactions there from Liliyana Natsir. She's quick to one side, intercepts the other way. Very, very quick racket.
Service over, 11-13.
Well, the pressure, of course, on Tantowi Ahmad, because big shoes to fill. Taking over
Service over,
Nova Widianto's
14-11.
partnership. A lot expected of him.
Yes, it'll be interesting to watch this partnership develop, really. There is pressure on him, clearly, but what an opportunity, because Liliyana Natsir is an outstanding mixed player. As you say, she's an all-court player, but very, very quick reactions at the front of the court. Serve and returns very well. For a young player like Tantowi, this is a fantastic opportunity.
Service over, 12-15.
It's all about how you react to these opportunities. Excited by the opportunity or intimidated by the opportunity, and he seems to be excited.
Out. Service over. 16-12.
Wide of the centre line.
And 17-12.
So calm and collected as she plays the shot. Oh, it's a great play.
18-12.
Good example. Tantowi confident in his partner, happy to rotate forward, a little in the style of how Nova used to do it. He was on the back foot, but happy to come in on the mid.
Service over.
Just noticing one thing, Jill, that
18.
Liliyana's gone back to this centre position when her partner's serving from behind her. Don't know if you remember 2 or 3 years ago, there were some problems when she did that with Nova, because the opponents couldn't see Nova serving, and it was quite controversial at the time. She seems to have gone back to that position. It'll be interesting to see how that develops.
Not helping the German cause, that error on serve.
Game points, 13.
7 game points now for the number 7 seeds. Yep. Oof. Goodness me. Well, it's called out.
14-20.
My instinctive reaction was that it had landed in, but let's have a look. Oof, well, there you are. That's why I'm not a line judge. Line judges volunteer their time. Sterling
Service
job here.
fault called.
England Championship. Service fault called. And that gifts the opening game to Tantowi Ahmad and Liliyana Natsir of
21-14.
21-14 confirms Jane Hancock, the umpire. Well, pretty convincing. Just 11 minutes of play, that's extraordinary for 21-14. The Indonesian coach will be pretty happy with their performance so far.
Yeah, interesting there if we look at the net winners. It's Liliyana Natsir with all that experience that's able to dominate the front at the moment, front of the court, and that's been a decisive factor in that first game.
Yeah, twice as many net winners. There's Ingo Kintervater. So the Indonesians, well, we thought in the men's doubles, the previous match that we were watching, that the Koreans were in cruise control and ended up being beaten. I'm sure the Indonesian pair here in the mixed doubles will be very anxious to keep their focus, keep their concentration, and keep dominating, especially from the front of the court.
Second game, level play.
So Ian, if you had been able to give the German pair advice in that interval between games, what's the sort of things you would have been asking them to focus on?
I think it would be a question of trying to instill a little bit of confidence into Birgit Michels. Just try and reinforce the things that she normally does. Try and get her to play a natural game. Try and look for the shuttle a little bit more on the front court. Because she looked very nervous on the front court in that first game. Made a lot of unforced errors. And if they're going to turn this game around, she's got to get some control on that front court and get a little bit more positive.
Now it's been a much better start for
Love.
Start to this second game.
Service over. 1-4.
I do find it interesting, Jill. I don't know what your opinion is. If you look at Liliana's position here, it's directly in front. He's serving over her rather than to the side. And I know in the past there's been some problems with that. Certain players have complained to umpires that they can't actually see the start of the service action.
Service over.
What is the specific rule about that, Lillian?
You have to be able to see the full action from the first forward movement has to be visible. And in that position, I'm not sure that's always true.
Well, I certainly noticed that the English combination of Nathan Robertson and Jenny Wall were complaining about that very thing in their first round match yesterday, and that was against another Indonesian pair, Rijal and Susanto. It's something that the Indonesian coaches have only said, okay, well, this is something we want to work on. It's a little bit different. Other pairs won't be used to it.
Yeah, it was a tactic, as I said earlier, it was a tactic that Nova and Natsir used in the past, but they went away from it in the end because everybody started complaining. Once it was called a fault once, then it opened up the opportunity for opponents to complain about it, and in the end they went away from it. But it looks as though they're going back to that tactic.
Yeah, good smash from Fuchs across the body. Liliyana Natsir. She was waiting, very committed to her backhand defence, smashing it down her forehand side, getting a little tangled up in her defensive play.
Let.
That's what we were talking about, Jill. Birgit there standing up, looking for the shuttle a little bit more. And that creates some time for a partner there. That's a good interception. Forces the Indonesians to hit up, and Michael there very quick onto the mid-court. Good decisive cross smash.
Play. Service over. 6.
Again, that has to go down as a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that was a real chance to build up a bit of momentum, I have to say. It was a good serve, and again, Birgit being a little bit more positive, creating the opportunity for a partner. Which I'm sure that's exactly what the German coaches were talking about, but unfortunately, unforced error.
Service over. 8-6. Service over. 7-8. All. Service over. 9-8.
Yeah, again, that's not a great shot there. Bit flat-footed, played the first shot and then didn't move forward, let the setting shot come to him and made the error. Same again.
10-8.
Caught a bit flat-footed at the moment. He's lost his rhythm, lost his footwork a little bit. Here, pushes. Doesn't really drive back into position.
Service
Seemed to
over.
rush his low serve there.
9-10. All. Service
Luck
over.
of the net cord.
11-10.
Michael Fuchs. And the Germans have the advantage here in the second game. Oh, at the end hit that such a powerful action, that wouldn't have gone over. Well, it's interesting that Ingo Kintervater, the current player, is giving more of the advice.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds. Thank you.
Something I've noticed with the German team, they've done the same in the singles. When the singles players are playing, it's another singles player that goes out with Jerome. Maybe with Ingo, it's a question that he probably is coming towards the end of his career, and maybe they are trying to give him a little experience in the coaching chair, trying to develop him as a future coach.
Service over. 11
men's
all.
doubles partner of Michael Fuchs, so he'll know him terribly well. Know how he functions, what he needs as far as encouragement or tactical advice.
Service over. 12-11.
Yeah, again, have to say from Ahmed here, look a little bit flat-footed here. Not a very positive movement. It was a movement to the side rather than driving forward to intercept the shuttle early. So I don't think Liliyana was too happy with that.
Service over, 12 all.
Called wide.
13-12.
Obviously, the Germans didn't like the call. Well, I think that was a good call. I think it was wide by a whisker. Oh, that's clever.
14-12.
Up in her defence.
Yeah, he just takes the power off here and hits beneath the defence. Birgit trying to be more aggressive with her play and her decision-making, coming up the court, racket high, but very aware and just flipping the shuttle underneath the defensive position. That's maybe the problem with that central position there on that return, Jill. Good communication as to which way Liliyana's going to go after her partner serves.
Service over, 15-13.
Obviously delighted with that. Liliyana Natsir. It's the channel attack, the smash down the centre of the court. Really does give the opportunity to Natsir to then try and intercept. Oh, this is a good little run of points by the Indonesians.
13.
6 of the last 7 points going their way. Yeah, that's well long of the back line.
18-13.
Yes, again, it's Tantowi that was confident in his partner, went in, played the spinning net shot. Just caused the Germans to lose control with the lift to the rear court.
Oh yes, that's clever.
Service over.
Yeah, that's nice, and it was set up originally. She intercepted the shuttle, blocks it off straight. That gave time for Michael to get the smash in, drive the opponents away from the net, and Birgit using the space to good effect.
Perhaps trying to be a little too clever on the return of serve there. Very ambitious shot to try.
Yeah, but that's one of the favourites. She likes to try that one. She likes that little deceptive cross-court return.
Service over, 19.
Really has to make those opportunities count.
Yeah, she just gets caught a little bit static. Her movement's not great here. She's going with the racket, and there's no foot movement to accompany the racket there.
Service over, 16-19.
Well, I think it's a question of now or never as far as the Germans are concerned. Yeah, that's well taken. Well-constructed rally.
Yeah, it makes such a difference when Birgit is positive. It allows Michael to move up the court. He can create more pressure. Birgit gets more time. And that's a good point, but there just hasn't been enough of that. It's been a little bit static, got herself caught too often in the middle of the court.
Oh. Oh. Goodness me. No, initially. Tantowi Ahmad
19.
played
Wipe
a
the court,
delightful
please.
cross-court shot, found the space, and then he found himself in trouble.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a weakness in his game there, though, Jill. I think he tends to hit and stop.
Yes, I've noticed that as well. And I guess that's maybe when you move up a level in standard of play, because that cross-court shot that he played from deep in his forehand corner earlier on in the rally against so many players from the lesser tournaments, that would have been an outright winner. But all of a sudden, at this very, very elite level, those shots are coming back, and he's got to be prepared for that. On level terms, the Germans.
19.
Well, that's good from Birgit. She's a determined player. Her movement isn't the best, but she's strong. The Indonesian kept going back to her, kept hitting back to her, not really making a move there. And when you give her time, she hits a good smash with a good angle, and eventually got through.
So 4 straight points. Back level at 19 all. And indeed, into the lead. And not only into the
20,
lead,
game point,
now
19.
an opportunity really to steal this second game. And indeed they do. Remarkable. A run of 6 straight points from 15-19 down. The Germans come back. I said that it was a question of now or never. And it was indeed now. Goodness me, what good courage. What an excellent play. And they take the second game 21-19. The second round mixed doubles encounter has really come alive.
So spielen, dass er wegspielen muss. Das müssen wir jetzt auch jetzt machen wieder. Da passiert nicht so viel. Und wenn ihr halt irgendwie den ersten runterspielt, dann dürft ihr nicht zu viel versuchen damit zu machen. Dann schreibt ihr erstmal mit. Von dem Typen kommt nicht so viel, der versucht jetzt.
Yeah, we'll see the difference there. They've not given Natsir as many opportunities on the front court. In the first game, the Indonesians had all the net winners. That's evened off, and the overhead winners is a sign that the Germans are starting to win the attack, and Birgit's starting to get some control around the front court and creating opportunities for Michael in the rear court. You'd have to say the unforced errors have really crept into the Indonesian game. Tantowi in particular at the end there was very static in his movement, hitting once, then stopping. Lack of rhythm in his game at the moment.
Aber wir müssen ihr die Mischung geben, auch mal ganz kurz. Und dann müssen wir halt nur klar sein, den legt sie halt wieder kurz zurück. Der ist jetzt zum Glück damit mitgegangen.
Aber wenn sie voll reingehen, musst du klar sein.
Ja.
Dann musst du fast das ganze Vorderfeld decken.
Ja.
Well, what a remarkable comeback in that second game.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2,
Fuchs and
20
Michels.
seconds.
And what have the number 7 seeds from Indonesia
Liliyana,
got left?
can you see?
Look to be cruising. Maybe relaxed a little too much. Tantowi
Final game.
Ahmad and
Love all.
Liliyana Natsir.
Play.
Strange, Jill. We finished the point with a run of 5 serves from Birgit.
Service over.
Wins 5
1
great points.
love.
They turn around to start the third game, and it's Michael who serves first. Don't quite understand that one.
Yeah, Michael Fuchs, and I think he has been struggling with his serve in this match so far. Whereas, as you've already
2
pointed out,
love.
Birgit really serving very well indeed.
Must be superstition, I think.
Oh, it's called good. Well, I'm not sure
Service over.
that
1,
was
2.
the right call. My instinctive reaction was that it was a little wide. Yes. No wonder the Indonesians are disappointed.
2 all.
Bit better from
3,
Ahmad there.
2.
Hitting the body smash cross there to get his partner into the game, but I have to say, he's not really playing much for Liliyana at the moment. He tends to just run around and hit the shuttle, I would say. Certainly at the end of that second game, there wasn't a lot of tactical play from him.
Yeah, and I think mixed doubles, more than any discipline, is all about trying to set up the rally for your partner to finish it off.
4,
And
2.
the majority of the time for the man within the partnership to set up the rally from the back of the court. And you're right, he's not really thinking 1 or 2 shots in front of himself. He's just thinking about that precise shot, and you can't afford to do it at this level.
Service over.
And again, and they've allowed the
3,
Germans
4.
to gain in confidence. Certainly Birgit was very nervous in that first game, and that run of points at the end of the second game looks to have settled her down, because her feet are moving better now, a little bit more aggressive, as we saw in that last point. And they've got a game on their hands now, the Indonesians.
Service over. 5, 3.
Let's not forget that the Indonesians yesterday in their first round encounter dropped the second game before coming back to win.
Service over. 4, 5.
Again, a little hesitation here from Tantowi. Is he going forward? Is he going backwards? And that means that Natsir has to, if he doesn't make a positive move to go forwards or backwards, it means that Natsir has to wait to see what he does, and she got caught on the mid-court. There's a lack of understanding in the partnership, I would say, at the moment.
Service over. 5, 6.
Just sense that Liliyana's just getting a little bit frustrated with her younger partner here. He's just a little bit off balance when he's hitting that. The feet have stopped working.
There's an indication of how much she's grown in confidence as the match has progressed.
Yeah, and Tantowi there not reading the situation. Expecting Birgit to have moved across to the straight. She'd stayed on the cross and he hit it straight to her.
Service over. 7 all.
Good use of the mid-court area. Get the shuttle past the net player, and yet still make the shuttle land in front of the rear court player. An ideal shot for doubles.
Service over. 8-7.
Yeah, nice. Michael a little bit off balance, taking the pace off to give himself time to get back into position.
Nine,
nice variety
7.
from Birgit. She's been concentrating on the short serve. confidence now to put the flick in. Liliyana guilty of just forcing the play a little bit from being off balanced.
Oh, he's missed it. The best rallies of the match so far.
10-7.
Very interesting. Germans clearly trying to keep the play away from Liliyana Natsir now, concentrating on keeping the pressure on Tantowi, and eventually made quite a simple mistake.
Very nice play indeed from the Germans, and a 4-point advantage as they change ends in this deciding game. And the number 7 seeds from Indonesia in all sorts of trouble. What's your German like? You understanding this?
Sorry, I was actually watching. I was actually watching the Indonesian coach. It's quite interesting. Giving them an on-court lesson of positional play. He's very animated and very unhappy with Tantowi's positional play.
Yes, all of his instruction directed at Tantowi Ahmad.
Leave the court, please.
That's it.
Yeah, it's 2-on-1.
That is her instruction as well.
Final game.
All adds to the burden of expectation, the pressure on the shoulders of Ahmad. That to me was a nervous-looking shot.
Yeah, that was a poor shot. It's quite a high flick service. He didn't get behind it. Wasn't clear in his mind what he was trying to do. And he's well out of position.
Good rally. A run of points, 5 straight points to be precise. Is that Richard Manaki?
It is.
Indonesian coach. He is older brother of Rexy Manaki. Of course, he was former world and Olympic champion in the men's doubles. Richard there. Fine mixed doubles player in his time.
9-12.
In fact, I played against him a couple of times.
I was in Indonesia a couple of months ago. I actually saw him play, and I can tell he still plays fairly well.
Oh, wrong choice of shot from Ahmad. Both the Germans way into the net. Look at them. All he had to do, instead of blocking that one back to the net, he should have played it to the back of the court.
He's not seeing the game at the moment. He's concentrating just on one shot. His peripheral vision's not working. He looks very nervous. But the Germans doing a good job to keep the pressure on him at the moment. Again, they've gone to him, pushing past Liliyana Natsir, keeping the pressure on him, and it's working very well for them at the moment. Yeah, the push past and the mate. And forced error again from below net height.
Service over. 10-14.
once again. Thought there was an opportunity gone begging for the Indonesians. But all credit to the Germans, who really weathered the storm. I have to say that Birgit Michels really has responded so well. She's now playing great badminton, full of confidence and very much in control.
Yeah, and she's found a good weapon with the flick serve. She's won a lot of points with the flick serve in this third game. And there's no clear understanding as to who's going to take the mid-court there. I'm sure Liliyana's sensing that Tantowi's not moving up the court, so she's reaching behind her to take the shuttle there.
Yeah, certainly a bit more aggression from Tantowi Ahmad. That Indonesian coach looking to be a worried man.
Yeah, it's a poor lift. Again, he wasn't sure whether the shuttle was coming through to him or not. But credit to Michael Fuchs there, who's onto it very quickly. Didn't force it. Concentrate on getting the angle and get a good winner.
Service over, 12-18.
Yes, and the frustration all too obvious. Oh, it's good. Once again, I'm not convinced by that. That looked wide of the mark once again to me. Oh, yes, that was wide. Well, I guess it evens itself out. That's 1 all as far as the advantage of a bad call or disadvantage is concerned.
Match point 13.
So now 7 match points for the Germans. After 45 minutes of play.
Service over, 14-20.
That's going wide, and the Germans through to their first ever All-England quarter-final. And they did it in style, having been very nervous at the start of the match. Fuchs and Michels of Germany have come through in 3 games. And the absolute delight for them through to the quarter-final of the Yonex England Championships. 14-21, 21-19, 21-14 in the deciding game. And no wonder they look happy.
Da machen wir einen gegrauten und scheißen uns selber ein. Erstmal schön den Braun aus der Hose gemacht nach dem ersten Satz und dann ging's, ja. Alter, Walter, hau mir wieder weg.
Well, thoroughly deserved the victory in the end. Well, goodness me.
See there how many flick serves the Germans used to break the game up, and used them to very, very good effect, I'd have to say. Again, as with the second game, hit more winners from above the net. Pretty even on the net, but It's the Germans that go through with those. Really, with a very nervous game in the end from Tantowi, and it's difficult to see where that partnership's going for Liliyana Natsir.
So they're safely through to the quarterfinals, and they will play the winners of former champion Nathan Robertson with his new partner Jenny Warwick, because they will have to play against the Polish combination, the number 4 seeds Robert Matusiak and Nadia Ziba, later on today.